Welcome to the video. I'm going to answer some questions here from my Instagram account. This footage was filmed yesterday here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, on the motorbike. I'm unable to ride my bike that much the last few months due to an injury. So on the motorbike, on the moto, we're just going to the supermarket to look at for some vegan snacks, etc. So got a question about sunscreen in the tropics, etc. What am I taking it? I use sunscreen for a long time in my life, and I'd say it gave me a fair bit of skin damage because sunscreen is a chemical barrier to the UV rays, etc. So I'd say if you want to prematurely age your skin, use sunscreen and expose yourself to more sun than you could tolerate naturally. That'd be my tip, okay? Especially in Australia, the UV is next level, okay? So the big mistake I made in my 20s is using sunscreen and thinking that's okay to use and that's going to give me protection during the summer, etc., and go ride all day on the weekends, etc., or go to the beach and just put sunscreen on, you know? If I had my time again, I would have worn clothing. You know, I was pretty sun smart. Like, my mum always used to give me warnings and stuff, so I was pretty onto it, but, you know, looking back, I could have been better. So my mum definitely drilled it into me, you know, but I was still a bit blasé, you know, to have all this expensive sunscreen and it's made in the laboratory and just, you know, all the high 50 SPF and all this stuff. But really, you know, I should have been just training more in the mornings or the evenings. And when I do all day epics, should have been better just wearing some sun covers on my arms, like some lightweight fabric on my arms and legs. And obviously in a race and stuff, you can't really wear those because you just overheat. So then sunscreen's okay for those times. But using sunscreen as a daily thing to protect against excess UV, for me, looking back, was dumb because it just creates sun damage. Okay, it's like using caffeine if you're tired. Like, if you use caffeine because you've already had enough sleep and you want to go like next level, okay, I can get it. But if you're using caffeine because you're tired, like, you're just creating a sleep deficit, which is going to damage your adrenals, etc. Same with sunscreen. Like, see this guy here. His skin was like perfect, man. Like, you know, he's in the sun all day and he's just wearing a big hat, all his clothing, you know, but he had, you know, amazing looking skin on his face. I saw him up pretty close, you know, and you compare the women who use product on their face, cosmetics or sunscreen, to the women who don't, okay? And it's really hard though, isn't it? Like, I mean, just what you can do is you can go to any high school around the world and just sort of sit there when it's closing time, or go on a school bus or whatever, or just look at students, you know, male and female, different demographics, different ages, or different, you know, different genetics, etc., different races, and look at the kids who have more money. They typically have worse skin, you know, because they use more product. Okay, they can afford the expensive product, or they can just afford the product in general. And there's this like ego, this bigotry. A lot of women are like, oh no, they use cheap product. Like, if you use expensive product, you have better skin. No. I'm 45. Like, I'm 45. I know women in their 70s. I know women in their 20s, etc. Up close. All right. We talk about these topics, and I look at their skin, and the best skin is on the men and women who use zero product. Zero product. Okay. Now, they're very, very hard to find, especially if they're female, because the cosmetic industry has just brainwashed women into saying your skin isn't good enough, you need to use product. And the product dries the skin out eventually. It'll make you hydrate it from chemicals or whatever. You know, it's got organic content, it's got aloe vera in it. Yeah, it's got aloe vera in it, but it's got all this other skunk in it as well. The bottom line thing is, the truth is, if you wouldn't put it on your salad, if you wouldn't put it on your food, don't put it on your skin, because your skin's an organ, okay? Now, the exception might be you've got a bike race, or you're doing Hawaii Ironman, and yeah, use sunscreen, because otherwise getting super sunburns is just dumb. But I'm talking in general. If you want to protect your skin, wear gloves, okay, on the bike. And, you know, just common sense. If you wouldn't put it on your food, don't put it on your face. Simple as that. If you wouldn't put it on your food, don't put it on your face. It'll just age you quicker, okay? Just look around. Look at teenage girls these days. You know, like, it's just more and more product, more and more like cleansers, and just, you can spot it. Like, when I lived in New York, I could spot, you know, who was a professional model and who was just a hot chick, because the professional models look horrendous, their face. Like, when they wore no product, their skin was just botched up. You know, it's sad. but their skin was only botched up because of all the product they used for work. You know, it's sad to see. And you come to Thailand or Indonesia or whatever, and you go out to the rural areas, the country areas where girls and guys don't use products, they can't afford it, and they have the best skin. And then they maybe move to Bangkok or get a Western boyfriend or girlfriend, got money, use product, and their skin deteriorates. All right, deteriorates. All right, so I've had friends, female friends, who worked as cosmetic girls behind the counters, you know, for the big brands, the organic brands, any brands, and their skin, man, was never as good as the girls who were from Asia or wherever and couldn't afford product. Or their skin wasn't as good as when they were 15 or 20 and hadn't used product yet. Oh, but they're just young. No. Yeah, that's young, but it's what it is. It's lack of exposure to product, skin product, okay? So remember that. Just go and look at a boy's skin who's 20 who doesn't use any product versus a girl's skin who uses product. You know, the boy is generally going to have better quality skin. And I'm not talking acne. I mean, acne obviously comes from, you know, your diet's huge. If you're using oil, like eating oil and fatty foods, if you're genetically predispositioned to acne, you'll get acne from oily food. You'll also get acne if you put sunscreen on or foundation, things that block the pores. And people disagree with me, you know, but they're going to be wrong. And this is a very, very touchy subject for most women out there, because they have this like romanticism with the cosmetic industry, which just, you know, uses 16-year-old girls on their adverts, and they're photoshopped. They use a 16-year-old girl who's photoshopped as the marketing face for their product. And it's just like such bullshit. Like, us guys can see through that, but women don't really see through that because they just go by their feelings, and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to go with the feelings, and the product's all sexy, and the packaging's really makes you feel good, and the price is really expensive. So, well, this must be good. It's expensive. It must be good. And it's just absolute all bullshit. And it might make the skin look better from this like artificial like stress the skin gets, inflammation-wise, plumps it up, but at a long-term expense. A bit like credit card. You know, you get the bonus today, but you pay for it long-term. And if you don't believe me, go to rural Thailand, you know, or even the universities here in Chiang Mai, and look at the girls and the boys who don't use any product on their skin. It's virgin skin, just like virgin hair. It's the same thing with hair. The more product you use on your hair, the worse it will be, all right? The more product you use on your hair, the worse it will be. And if you don't believe me, look at where all the Remy hair comes from. It comes from the poorest people in Vietnam and the poorest people in India, where the Remy virgin hair comes from, they use for the wigs, etc. It comes from the people who can't afford product. It comes from the people who are so broke they have to sell their long, epic hair. All right? Think about it, okay? That's where the best hair comes from, and that's where the best, softest, purest skin comes from, okay? So the less product you use, the better. And the less sun exposure you have, you know, not the less, I should say, you need sufficient sun for vitamin D, but let your skin say, hey, we've had enough. We need to have some shade now, okay? We always want to avoid sunburn. Do your best to do that. I like to wear long sleeve shirts with a collar, you know, so I give my skin a mechanical barrier against the sunshine, the excess sunshine, you know? Like, you need sun, all right? But too much of a good thing is still too much. Just like water. You need water, but too much water, you drown. So we need sun, we need exercise, we need these things. But too much sun is easy to get, and you get burned. And your skin tells you, hey, I've had too much sun today, now we're inflamed, we're burned, we're damaged. So that's my tip there. If you want your best skin, skip all product. Asterisks, those emergency situations where it's just going to be too hot to wear covers on your skin, okay? If you're a cyclist out there doing ultra rides, just cover up, man. Like, wear gloves, you know, wear skin covers on your legs and arms. You might look like a dork, but you're still out there getting it done. And it's better to have that than to have skin that you wish you protected better. And these days, I use a lot of lightweight skin covers, and the Aero, and they're super good. But if I'm doing a race in hot conditions, then yeah, I'll run sunscreen if I need to. That's the tip there, man. It's if you think you're going to get it's healthy for you to bake your skin in the sun with chemicals on your skin. That's delusional. All right, and I say that respectfully and kindly, but it's a message I wish I heard when I was 20, or etc. Like from someone that I rated. So just think about it. Just use your logic. Ask yourself the question: is a human skin designed for sun? Yes. Is it designed for more sun than it can tolerate? No. Is putting chemicals on your skin to protect it from the UV a good idea long term? The answer is no. Okay. It just doesn't make any sense. Just like using caffeine when you're tired, like get some rest, get some sleep. But if you want, here's the thing: girls out there go, "Well, I got to use sunscreen because I don't want to have wrinkles when I'm blah blah blah." Wrinkles don't really matter. All right. What matters is your self-belief and your self-esteem. That's confidence, and that's what makes you look good. Is how you believe in yourself and how you hold yourself. Okay, that's the best aesthetic for anyone out there. It's just how you believe yourself and how you hold yourself. But yeah, if you want to prevent wrinkles, then avoid late nights and go to bed at 9 o'clock. Okay, avoid stress, avoid having kids, things like that. Avoid smoking, avoid caffeine, and avoid living in a city with a lot of pollutants, etc. And avoid cosmetics on your skin. Okay, but I'll be honest with you, I've never looked at a woman and said, "Oh, she should do Botox." I've looked at women and I'm like, she doesn't need Botox. I've looked at women and I'm like, she's dodged her face up. She's munched her face, As a man, I don't know any men out there who've looked at women and said, "Oh, you should do Botox." That's an industry that's created by women to create insecurity, to shield product. No man would ever look at a woman and go, "Oh, she was really good, but nah, she needed Botox, hey. If she had Botox, she'd be a keeper." That's like, no man ever has said that. No man ever says, "Oh, I wish she would, wear more makeup." No man's ever fucking said that. I'll tell you what, I see women every single day in my life, and I'm thinking, why is she wearing makeup? Oh, she's fucking her face up. What's she doing? Every single day. That's just who I am as a coach. Just like when I see a bike going past, I'm like, oh, it's got a squeaky chain. There needs some lube on that chain, or the headset's loose. I just see things and what that's where I could improve on, and I just see women getting scammed by the cosmetic industry, and they lose their youth. I know I've seen 15-year-old girls with wrinkly skin, which is fine when you're 40, but when you're 15, why do you want to look 40 when you're 15? And there's nothing wrong with looking 40. I'm just thinking, if you're young, look young. Like, celebrate your age. Celebrate your age, especially if you're young. Like, why? Like that's you'll never ever look like you're 15 ever again. Like, enjoy looking 15. Enjoy looking 20. Enjoy looking 30. Enjoy looking 25. Like, enjoy it versus hide it because the cosmetic industry said you should. Like, it's fucked, man. It's really sad. But hey, it's a psychosis out there. It's a cosmetic industry psychosis, and not many women ever break through that. Even when Leanne would do Botox, I'm like, what are you doing? That's stupid. Don't do Botox. You don't need it. First of all, you don't need it. No woman needs Botox. All right. Secondly, it's a fucking science experiment. We don't know the long-term implications of Botox. Like, injecting that into, like, who knows what the consequence of that is. You know what I mean? Like, far out. Don't do that shit, girls. It's no guy wants you to do it. Ever, 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 ever. And if he does, he's probably the surgeon or dodgy dude trying to sell it to you. Okay? No guy wants a girl doing Botox. All right? If you want to get a boob job or your hair done or your teeth done, yeah, fair enough. I understand that. But Botox, man, skip it. Lip fillers, face fillers, don't worry about it, man. Just stand tall. Posture is the best aesthetic. I'll tell you what, if you got a hunchback, stretch out and stand tall. If you got tech neck, do your best to stand tall. Do some neck traction, stuff like that. I'm working that myself. Like, posture is so important, man, as an aesthetic. If you want to think about aesthetics, work on your posture. That is like instant subconscious attraction builder is working on your posture. Ditch the product, save thousands and thousands of dollars, save all this time and faffing around, okay? If anyone wants to wear product, they're not people you should be hanging around, okay? Oh, I'm a model, I work as a model. Become a YouTuber, you make way more money, okay? Join my coaching group, hire me as your coach. I guarantee you, I'll make you more money than you'll ever make as a model. Guarantee it. 100%.